That's going to be essential. Go to your downloads. Right here, scroll to the right.
The right?
And you want the bigger file. So you want that one. So you want the 570.
This one?
Yeah. Open that. And then hit apply. That's actually, oh, you use the mouse? That's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so now go to this one. Import. Go to the download. Take the one.
Should be hollering Vicky. Yeah.
81?
That's the one. I don't know how that works. And then hit apply. And then now you should have the
Okay, how do I use that?
that'd be on the scoreboard. So this was fixing the issue that you had. So that's all ready to go.
So if I had...
Yes, this stuff is all.
Oh. Okay, great. So if I did the scoreboard... Oh, light. Nice. We got... I should write mine.
Yeah, you should.
I hit this, then that?
Yes.
What? Give me 1 minute.
All right.
Confirm?
Yeah. And then come down here.
State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Dar Danielson with you here. Eric Zamora joining me this afternoon as we head into the 2A quarterfinals of the soccer tournament. And we'll have number 2 Lewis Central taking on number 7 Dallas Center Grimes. Eric, had not seen any of the scores on the other fields, but we had one here that was close for a while, and then some not last second, but late goals that kind of put it away here in this first match we had over here in the 1A quarterfinals. But ready for 2A, and first thing I noticed is fans are just glad we have a state tournament and out and be here this year.
Absolutely, and to fill in our audience on that Class 1A bracket, Nevada with a 1-0 victory. They were able to get a goal about a minute after a goal was disallowed. Were able to come back and get the only goal of the game. They advanced to take on number 1 Davenport Assumption, who was victorious 4-0. And this one I'm not 100% sure on, but 90% sure on. I'm pretty sure that Des Moines Christian advanced past Columbus Catholic by a score of 3-0. But you can check that out on the Iowa High School Girls Athletic Union website. But you're right, and there are going to be some begrudging things today. The weather being one, the lack of reliable power and internet out here is another. But after the last year plus that we've gone through. In fact, you and I having that unique opportunity to call some sports in some weird circumstances. You're right. The fans are just glad that the girls get an opportunity, regardless of any things that they have to overcome, just get an opportunity to settle it on the pitch today.
All right, well, we'll take a break. We come back, we'll talk about how these two teams got here to state. We'll give you a little bit more of their background, what we're looking at as we prepare for kickoff of this 2A quarterfinal match. You're watching the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's top teams and student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's a chance for a small town kid to make it big. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more, to be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can be found only in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes, the coaches on a successful year. And remember, the task ahead of you is never greater than the strength.
Here at the County Soccer Complex in Des Moines, the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. We are into the 2A quarterfinals now, second matches of the day. And time now to talk a little bit about the road to state for these two teams. For Dallas Center Grimes, they defeated Pella 4-0 and 2-0 here in the regional tournament. For Lewis Central, it was an 8-0 win over Harlan and a 4-1 win over Glenwood coming in. And both these two teams have been here before. Lewis Central, they've taken home the big trophy a couple times, 2016 to 2018, and then they were in the semifinals of 2019, of course, no season last year. And Dallas Center Grimes, it's their third straight year here, and they had in the 2A semis in 2019 and returned starters from that. So a lot of tournament experience on these two squads, Eric.
Yeah, and these two teams do have one a common opponent that both were defeated by earlier in the season. Obviously, for Lewis Central, losses few and far between. The number 2 ranked team comes in with a 17-2 record, fell to the Council Bluffs Lincoln squad by a score of 1-0. Similarly, Dallas Center Grimes, also a nail-biter, but fell to Council Bluffs Lincoln by a score of 2-1. DCG coming in with a record of 13-5 on the season.
So they're lining up, getting ready here for our opening announcements, or starting lineups, I should say, here on the field.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the James W. County Soccer Complex for the 2021 Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament, and this Class 2A quarterfinal game between the Mustangs from Dallas Center Grimes and the Titans from Lewis Central. Now let's meet the teams. First, the reserves for the visiting team, the Mustangs from Dallas Center Grimes. Number 1, Samantha Streets. Number 3, Ellie Jermeyer. Number 6, Kaylin Mills. Number 8, Mackenzie Fortune. Number 10, Alexia Hendricks. Number 12, Cameron Smith. Number 13, Emma Smith. Number 14, Maddie Cruz.
That's much more.
Number 17, Carolyn White. Number 18, Maya Kozrabi. And number 50, Kylie Albright. Now let's meet the starters for Dallas Center Grimes. Number 2, Olivia Sear. Number 4, Avery Corshing. Number 5, Elena Bartak. Number 7, Ashley England. Number 9, Corin Wiggins. Number 11, Kylie Kneef. Number 15, Ella Forsyth. Number 16, Hannah Renz. Number 19, Emma Angus. Number 22, Morgan Rosenbeck. And number 26, Maya Fritz. The head coach for Dallas Center Grimes is Dan James. He's assisted by Mark Bennett and Jeff Kane. Now let's meet the home team on the scoreboard, the Titans from Lewis Central. First, the reserves. Number 3, Lily Wink. Number 5, Isabel McNeil. Number 6, Haley Erickson. Number 9, Natalie Smith. Number 12, Amara Orth. Number 13, Leah Taylor. Number 24, Reese Ford. And number 99, Riley Shaw. Now the starters for the Titans. Number 0, Hannah Lucy. Number 2, Haley Bach. Number 4, Hope Jensen. Number 8, Hannah Dowdy. Number 10, Gracie Hayes. Number 15, Hannah Estrada. Number 16, Ashley McKenzie. Number 17, Callie Williams. Number 21, Taylor Gregory. Number 23, Riley Wright. And number 26, Megan Elam. The head coach for Lewis Central is Chris Von Mendy. The assistant coach is Sydney Dennis. The officials for today are, the referee is Joseph Spies. Assistant referee is Rich Voyek. Assistant referee is Janice Heffling. And your fourth official today is Ethan Dix. Congratulations to both teams, and now let's play some championship state soccer.
All right, we're ready to go. Before that, we want to once again thank Iowa Farm Bureau, the proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa, and we'd like to thank the offices today for their support. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting the IGHSAU and the Iowa Girl. And I saw a little bit in that first game. I raked some nerves, although there was a couple goals scored quick, but then it was a lot of kicking the ball out and trying to get used to knowing, you're in the state tournament. Once they settle down, it got a little more to business, but you'd see that here, at all levels, all classes. When you're at the state tournament, it means a little something different. And again, not to belabor it, but after not getting to play last year, playing here. So it'll be interesting to see how this starts out.
Well, and between these two teams, I'd be surprised if we saw another start like that simply because of the netminders. Hannah Lucy has played 1,290 minutes, given up just 10 goals. Break that down to a sport I'm a little more familiar with in hockey, and that's a .62 goals against average per game. And Dallas Center Grimes' Maya Fritz just as stingy, .862. So these teams are used to giving up less than a goal a game. Obviously, something's got to give here today.
And we're underway here with Lewis Central starting out. They're in the blue. Dallas Center Grimes in the white uniforms. And he comes up, and there's one off the face right away. And Wiggins will... She gives it off, but they throw it in. Dallas Center Grimes early on looking to take advantage. Morgan Rosenbeck will throw it in for DCG over the head. And trying to keep it in play. They do down toward the touchline through one defender and then another defender. Collision. And now back out the other way, but Dallas Center Grimes again stops it. Sent in by Wiggins. And they'll reverse field here, but nobody over there. Lewis Central. Lewis Central sends it up, and DCG handles it. Renz back to the middle. So early going. DCG quick to the ball. Looking up ahead to Wiggins. She's onside there. Couldn't quite handle it, though. That was close to being offside, and it'll be Lewis Central throw in. And they keep it alive. Dallas Center Grimes trying to keep the pressure on here in the early going. Up ahead. Now knocked away by the defender. Dowdy. And Lewis Central trying to get play in their own half for a change.
Always interesting to see how these teams come out formationally. Lewis Central looks to be playing a 4-5-1. Dallas Center Grimes playing a little bit more aggressively with just 3 at the backfield, piling 5 midfielders in there, and then 2 up top.
So Lewis Central will get the throw in. On the far side, Estrada. Knocked away, back out. And DCG trying to go on the offensive. Move it over. And up through. Good technical game early going for DCG, passing around, Eric. Now, staying with it is Forsythe. Into the middle, knocked away by the defender, was Elam. Now, Lewis Central tries to turn it, but they have just one player up top, Bach. But now they'll move it forward as they bring more numbers up. Knocked down. Going outside to Gregory. Gregory gets pushed for the first foul of the match against DCG.
On that last play with DCG trying to cross it into the box, no surprise, Avery Korshing, the intended target there, leads the team in goals with 16 and points with 38. So keep an eye on 4 and white.
So here's the free kick. Hannah Dowdy, the junior, booms it over toward the left side, headed out of there by DCG. And that'll go out, and it'll be a throw for DCG.
Right idea there, and one of the areas that I feel like the girls' high school game is actually better than the boys is a lot of times you'll see the girls really try, or excuse me, the boys really try to run and gun up the middle. I think the girls do a better job of using the whole width of the pitch and trying to get
send
it
out
the,
and then back in.
and then cross it back in.
Almost in basketball, like, yeah, you're right, where they send it out and then the boys sometimes, you're right, try to ram it right down through the middle, or they try to take that kick and try to score the goal off it instead of sending it into somebody.
Use that as an opportunity to feed your wings.
Here's DCG again, trying to get it through the middle, but defender comes away with it. Dowdy now under pressure, gives it up. Gregory, DCG putting on the pressure, but back the other way, Reitz.
I'll be honest, a little bit of groans from the crowds, probably both ways, and I like that. The official saying, hey, what do you want me to, you can't call offsetting penalties. No. It's got to be one way or the other, and there, no clear advantage gained. Play on.
It's good consistent contact, too. It's nothing out of the ordinary. I referee a lot of youth soccer. Well, I haven't as much this year since the pandemic, but yeah, the parents are always, every little push or bump is a foul, but it's not if it's within the confines of the actual play of the game.
Well, and as the game goes on, those listening to the broadcast might pick up. I actually learned the sport in the European continent, and they allow a little bit more contact than you're used to seeing over here.
This one, it'll hit the side of the net for a goal kick for Lewis Central.
That's Maya Fritz in the Dayglow yellow-greenish, and she's playing for that DCG squad, a sophomore, and basically played all but a half for the Mustangs all season long.
And the keeper. And now DCG will try to turn this around, send it back up That's going to go out, and it'll be a throw on the far side for Lewis Central. Dallas Center Grimes again, quick to try to turn it back. Gracie Hayes, I believe, over there on the far side. And now it'll stay with Lewis Central. Knocked away, still out and headed out. They can't turn that, get around on it. And Lewis Central trying to get it turned back toward the goal. They keep it alive, but the defender there now. So they got it in the box, but really nobody with the angle to turn toward the goal area.
Right idea. You were able to get it across, but all they were trying to do is just turn that angle upwards, and all they could do is just keep it going parallel to the goal line.
Had their back to the goal, too, there. Now here's a good battle in midfield for it. DCG wins it. Knief with it. Sends it outside. On the run up the outside, Wiggins. Sneaks it in and cleared out for the goal kick. Good piece of defending there as Korshing was coming in, but she cleared it off of her. They give the goal kick instead of the corner.
Yeah, nice job there. Gets the clearance and also takes a deflection off of a shin guard. I'm always curious to see how these teams, once you get to state, there's no slouch opponent. You're going to have much tighter games than you're used to all season. In the last 4 games, DCG has outscored their opponents 25-1, 30-1. Lewis Central with that advantage. So now when things get a little bit tighter and it's harder to score, we'll see how the teams react to adversity.
A little bumping and running there, and here's Estrada with it. Estrada cuts it back. Now left foots it toward the middle. Has Gracie Hayes there. Hayes tries to sneak it through, but it's off the defender. We'll have our first corner of the day. Brought to you by Kruger Seeds. Next time you're in the need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. First class seed, first name service at KrugerSeeds.com online. Here's the corner, swinging in. Knocked out of there by DCG. And now they'll turn and counter. Forsyth. And Lewis Central turns it back the other way.
Big left foot there by Callie Williams, playing the left side fullback position and just swats it up. Sometimes that's what you need, is even if you give possession to the other team, just allow the rest of your squad time to get back and regroup.
Throw by DCG, and that'll go out back to Lewis Central. And back the other way now. After some early scrambles in front of the 2 nets, we're kind of back to more normal playing back and forth as DCG, just as they say that, they're on the breakaway. Breaking up. 2-on-1. Brings in left footer, high and over the goal. Had it set up there, but just could not get turned.
For those who haven't played the game, that is the toughest thing to do that looks the easiest, is you want to get that ball to get up but not just sail on you. And it did start to curl back down, just not quickly enough in time. That was a great look, and as you talked about, that 2-on-1 really allowed her a better opportunity to shoot.
Because that defender didn't know.
Exactly.
She tried to split the difference there, yeah.
Kind of got caught in no man's land.
And it ended up, and it's so much, there's offside. That was a good, you could see that a mile away there. As now they try to play it quick. And in the middle, I don't know if he called that off or what, or if they said the defender played the ball maybe. That's why they kept playing without an offside. If the defender plays the ball, then you're not in an offside position. But here's DCG breaking back the other way. And after all that, we end up with the ball to the keeper.
And you don't see that too often. I also think that there's a possibility that they said, hey, it's to your advantage. If you guys want to keep the game going, we certainly can. So a little bit.
That works too if the other team gets the ball and turns it right away.
A little bit of controversy early on, but fortunately didn't end up resulting in anything major.
Nope. Korshing with it. She looks, distributes it outside. Here comes Forsyth trying to run over, and that'll go out to Lewis Central. We'll have our first substitution of the day, the IMT Insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. And I think we're going to see probably a few more substitutions today than we would on a normal day just because of the heat.
Forsyth did a great job there of hustling. Because of that, she forced Williams to have no time and no option but to just play it out. If she doesn't hustle there, Williams has all time to turn and move it upfield.
Into their last third, they throw it in. Now trying to work it on the far side. Drops it back. Little dump into the middle there to Corshing. She can't do anything with it. And here comes Lewis Central. They're trying to get it out of their half while DCG putting the pressure on. Good pressure there. Still trouble. Gregory. Now here comes DCG again. Not letting them get out of there. It was Knief. And Lewis Central lets it roll out, gets the throw. Quick close by DCG. Pressure on, and that'll go back the other way. So Dallas Center Grimes is not standing still on those free balls. They're putting the pressure on. Into Knief. She tries to go opposite field, and a little misplay there by the defender gives him a chance. Up ahead, and that one's high.
You talked about the two squads are going to be substituting players on and off as much as they can. Just a note for those watching the broadcast, there will actually be stoppages in the halfway point approximately of each half, kind of quarter breaks, so that way the players can rest up, get a little shade, and most importantly, get hydrated.
Yep. There's DCG again. Turning it back up. Trying to keep it alive. Pressing hard on defense. That turns back into offense now on the far side. But Lewis Central clears it up ahead. Estrada looking. She looked to the middle there. Now gets it into the middle. Tried to get a little foot on that block. But now it gets through to the keeper. Man, almost a misdirect there that might have caught the keeper going one way and got the ball back the other way, but couldn't get quite enough on it.
There's absolutely nothing worse as a goalkeeper than if there's a deflection or redirection. You're going one way, and all of a sudden, ball's headed the other.
Yeah, a little contact there, but they play on. Both going for the ball there. Into the middle. Corshing, left footer, goal! And DCG on the board first. Just got it there. She had a couple defenders, but had enough room to get around it and fire it in there.
And Corshing scores there 13 minutes, 19 seconds into the match for her team-leading 17th of the year. And with two teams that haven't seen each other before, I'm wondering if, factoring into that goal at all, Corshing ripped that with her left foot. I'm wondering if the goalie wasn't quite sure where the leading scorer was going to try to pull the trigger with.
Yeah. When you get at this level, a lot of the best players are pretty good with both feet. Sometimes they're not.
That's true.
That time we saw, though, that she was. And a lot of times with as much club and other stuff going on, you know the players kind of a little bit, but you're right there. The keeper wasn't quite sure. So the moral of the story for the young players, keep practicing. Make sure you're a two-footed player. Right into the middle again, trying to go DCG. This one scrambled around. Lewis Central trying to get it under control and clear it out. Trailing it out for the first time. Up ahead to Bach. Now DCG back the other way. They just appearing a little bit quicker to the ball right now, Eric. DCG.
And the Mustangs connecting on some passes here that aren't directly to the player. They're just to open space. If you can find some real estate and you've got a player moving in, doesn't always have to be right to their cleats.
Well, that one goes right in the middle, right to the defender that time, Dowdy. And Dowdy sends it up ahead, but knocked down. Here's Bach. Bach tried to go up over the top, but Estrada Knight didn't quite have enough room to get behind the defender to get to it. And the keeper, Fritz, will boot it out of there. Good boot across the half line. The breeze has settled down a little bit. It did pick up just a bit in that first game, but not much breeze impacting these balls.
Early on in this game, the lower seed with the advantage. And same thing happened at the final of 2 of the first 4 games. Sometimes it's tough to try to figure out where the seedings are. Everyone obviously does their best, but you've got so many teams who haven't seen each other, don't have a ton of common opponents. It looks like on paper, well, a 2-7 Lewis Central should be a heavy favorite, but in quite honesty, I mean, this is as close as a 50-50 match as you're going to see.
And then teams playing up sometimes, and then girls soccer is a little different too, and a lot of the smaller, well, most of the smaller schools, real small schools, don't play. Here's DCG with it. Lobbed up ahead by Knief, and that one is going to roll too far, a little too much pace. It'll be a goal kick.
Really smart decision by Reitz there. She saw that she could get to the ball, but also said, hey, not only if I let this go, but if for some reason that thing dies, I'll just walk it to the edge. So a good job there of not forcing the play, instead allowing her squad to get a goal kick.
And we have an IMT Insurance substitution. In the meantime, Natalie Smith, the junior, coming in for Lewis Central. And DCG, Cameron Smith, will throw it in for the Phillies. And up ahead to Estrada. Now through the defender. Official says advantage. And knocked around. Estrada still going. Cuts it back. Nice footwork. Oh, almost snuck it through the lane there. But they're going to call a foul on Dallas Center Grimes.
Not that we planned it this way, but as we set ourselves up for the broadcast here, the Lewis Central student section kind of surrounded themselves around us. So if it sounds like the crowd's a little bit more pro-Titan than Mustangs, take that into account.
Yeah, the DCG fans are on the other end of the bleachers here. We're on the north end. And here's the free kick. Right up over the top. Oh, just over the goal. That was almost money there, but just rose a little bit. And again, no wind coming to push that one down. But nonetheless, a pretty good strike on the ball. Just a foot too high there.
That was how you draw it up, because if that had crept back down, even if it hadn't gotten in, if that goes off the crossbar, there's trouble. And it looked like if Fritz were able to get a touch on it, probably wouldn't have been able to punch it much further off the goal line, so could have had a rebound goal there as well.
Dowdy with the good strike. Here's the goal kick coming out for DCG. They turn it. And now we're going to try to go Sear with it, rather, excuse me. And DCG pressure on again. Ball out there. DCG got it a little bit too far. Now they come back. Things getting a little physical in there. Korshing kept it alive. Right through Rentz gets it through there. She drops it over right side. Back in, Korshing, right footer. This time is wide. No, it's in there. It's in the goal. I thought that came in on the other side, but it was in on the goal.
And it looked like the netminder thought the exact same thing. It looked like she was letting that go wide, although I don't think she would have had a play on it anyway.
No,
but as the DCG side was kind of setting things up, it's almost one of those where you sneak a shot, and you're not expecting a team to try to score from that far out. But 21-41 left in the first half, about to reach that break that we were talking about. DCG flexing their muscle.
So just about 5 minutes from the first goal, DCG gets the second goal. And they're up 2-0 here. Yeah, the way from this angle, I thought, man, that's going to head into the side of the net. The keeper came out like it was too, but it's into the back corner of the net.
To the second, 5 minutes after that first goal.
And here's DCG battling for it again. Orth turns it in to Bach. Now up ahead, they got something going. Cuts it back. Back again, right footer, and this time it's going to go wide and hit the fence before it gets to the parking lot. But Hannah Estrada working one-on-one on the defender. Took her to the left, to the right, and back. And just could not quite get enough space to get that off beyond the defender. But we've seen too, we got some players here who can go one-on-one here. Korshing here, and then Estrada. We saw her try that here on the other end, Eric.
Maybe they heard me talking about how in the boys' game you see a little bit more of that, guys trying to make moves, and the girls said, hey, we can do it just as well. But again, credit both sides. They've done a good job of really spreading the ball wide at times.
So Lewis Central now bring it up. Reitz trying to get through that defense. Maybe a little too much passing and not enough, or I mean too much dribbling, Eric. If they pass it a little more for Central, Lewis Central here. It seems like their dribbling gives time for the defense to close on them.
What I've really liked out of 16 Hannah Renz for DCG is a couple of times she's gotten what my old coach used to refer to as a 50-50 ball. It's whoever wants it the most and wills it. There was a time where she got into a little bit of a collision, and the reason that she won it is simply she went in harder to that attack, and it deflected off of her.
And that shot goes wide, and we're going to go to our first water break here. 19:53 to play, DCG up 2-0. You're watching the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Nothing feels quite as free as being out here.
Except this free soda.
Where'd you get free soda?
At Casey's, you can win all kinds of free stuff.
I love free.
Then you'll love this. Bought this jerky, won this free donut.
I love donuts.
And these chips can win me the big one.
What?
A free concert from country music superstar Lee Brice.
I love free Lee Brice.
With Casey's Summer of Freedom sweepstakes, the more you buy, the more you can win, including a free Lee Brice concert for your town.
Free Lee!
No.
Des Moines, the S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist.
We're here at the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Dar Daniels with you, and Eric Zamora here. And the pace that DCG is playing at early here, Eric, seems like it's kind of got Lewis Central. They're trying to move that ball quickly instead of looking to pass it to get around DCG, and DCG is just pressing them so much that it's kind of got them off their game a little bit. We'll see if maybe this may be a case where maybe the hydration break helps them a little bit and get a little coaching in that break too, because it's kind of like a little extra timeout that you don't always get in soccer.
Well, and again, Lewis Central giving up just 12 goals on the year, already 2 in the first 20 minutes of play. It's going to startle them a little bit, but I think they'll get settled down in here. I like the way they're set up formationally at the back end. They've kind of got Elam playing that stopper role, Williams in the middle is that sweeper role. And credit DCG. I mean, this hasn't been Lewis Central leaving holes open, but DCG just finding slivers of openings and exploiting them.
They're just moving to the ball and keeping their shape so well here. And when they do get it like here, they turn and they attack right away. There's a handball, but they're going to let him play on. They're playing advantage with that.
Yep. The official clearly making the signal there that he saw the handball. Had the ball gone to White, would have been a call.
We say advantage, we mean that it's an advantage to the team who has the ball to not stop play altogether. Now they get it back in, up ahead. Oh, good defensive step through and pass the other way. Let's say the official stops that on the handball, and it could stop a breakaway the other way for the other team.
The other thing I've noticed in watching a game and a half so far is a reminder to those watching at home, just because it hit somebody's hand doesn't always mean that a handball foul has been committed. Well, there it was.
And they totally have redone the definition of that, too, depending on where it's at on your body. And
it has a lot to do with intent, and again, as you pointed out, if an advantage is gained.
Even in the penalty area now, if it comes in and strikes a hand accidentally, it isn't always a handball in there.
No, it's basically got to either be done intentionally, or even if it wasn't, a large advantage is gained. But in other words, if it's inadvertent, or sometimes they'll even give it to you if it's just a reactionary defensive mechanism as well.
And I think that's what they've tried to go to is if it's not intentional. And one of the things, too, is if you try to make your body bigger by stretching your arms out, that's another definition of it, not to get too far into the technical
And again, in a game and a half, my cap's off to the officiating this tournament so far has been spot on, not only with the calls, but again, officials have done a great job of communicating and signaling.
Lobbed up, and it gets by the defender. Go, just wide. Whoa. Knife had one there. That, Knife sliced it just a little to the left.
Leads the team in assists with 8 and had one at her feet. Looked like a gimme play, but I can tell you with the netminder coming off her line and forcing her to make that play quickly, even though it won't go down as a save, goaltender came up big there.
Yep. And it's all about doing it. Oh, man. There was quite the collision there.
And that looked bad because not only the player did come in and commit a foul, but it certainly wasn't an egregious one. The player who ended up taking a tumble there, Kaylee Knief, kind of turned her body the wrong way. So the DCG
came down awkwardly and it looked weird. Yeah,
DCG being awarded the free kick, but I'm glad that the official kept the card in his pocket because it certainly turned out to be a lot worse than was necessarily just the fault of the offending player.
There's the free kick lobbed up right to the keeper. And I think I've seen just on this grass field, you tend to catch your cleats sometimes a little more on this than you do with the turf. It seems, I don't know, just what I've watched you slide through. There's a handball there. And that one came right down to her side, and she kind of bumped the ball down to her, so you could tell there. Here's the free kick for Lewis Central as they're looking to get on the board here, down 2-0. That one just a bit high. It was on the good line there, looking for Estrada. Now breakaway again. Quickly back the other way. Dallas Center Grimes, one-on-one. Goal! Was that Knife? No, 15, right? Forsyth. So Forsyth with it.
And if you are Lewis Central, obviously nobody wants to be down 3-0. The advantage that you have going is that there's a lot of game left, over 55 minutes, and the Titans, they definitely have the offense to get back into this one. But at this point, I wouldn't even worry about trying to score. You need it to go a good 5-10 minute period where you just control play and settle yourself down defensively.
Now Dallas Center Grimes back the other way. It's out. And they'll throw it in. One thing I wonder, too, is up and through, Dallas Center Grimes has kept up a pretty hot pace, pressing on defensively and offensively here. We'll see if that wears them down, too, in the second half a little bit. We'll see how they do with conditioning because we have had some heat to play soccer in, but it hasn't been overly hot a whole lot so far this year.
It kind of got turned on, at least here in the Des Moines area, in the last week or so, where about 2 weeks ago we were talking about how unseasonably chilly it was.
There's a right up, man. The keeper will come up. There's a collision there with the keeper, but she comes away with it. No harm there. The attacker was coming in and kind of tripped into her.
Great second effort by Fritz. Sometimes the best skill you can have as a goaltender is not how do you make a save in plan A, but it's when that falls out the back window, what are you doing for plan C through D?
How you recover, yeah. The quick thinking, do you dive on it? Do you punch it away? Now here comes Lewis Central, and that time bump back to the keeper.
And again, good communication there. DCG walking that to their keeper at the 18-yard line and saying, hey, if that dies any earlier, the goalie's got to come out and play it with her feet.
Yeah.
But they were able to allow her to scoop it up with her hands.
She can't pass it back to her and have her pick it up. You can head it back, but you can't pass it back. Now here's DCG under a little pressure, trying to turn it. Carolyn White in there for DCG. Back into the middle. Forsyth. She tries to send it across, and it goes out.
That's another one of those situations where you see both players kind of getting their hands up. And as a former official, the thing I used to always say is, hey, if your opponent starts to push at you, just don't do anything back. It's an easy call for me if only one of you is doing it. If both of you are doing it and neither one of you gets a real advantage,
then you got to let it.
You're playing it on.
And signals it'll go free kick to DCG.
I'll be honest, even if this game were not played in such warm conditions, I like the break at that half mark. It's kind of just allows everybody to pick up the pace a little bit, and it's essential when you've got the temperatures as warm as they are today.
I think that's one of the things when I started coaching my kids' soccer was learning you don't have any timeouts like you do in basketball. Baseball, talk to the pitcher and stuff, you have to kind of talk to them from the sideline, or you talk to your players that you send in and say, hey, tell them this is what we want to do. Now here comes Lewis Central. Couple numbers now, 2-on-1, but good defense back there to clean it up by DCG. And now back the other way. Keeper comes out. And so far that back line playing well for the Phillies. Front line not doing too bad either. Into Corshing. Oh, and the left foot this time goes high for Avery Corshing. She's got 2 of their 3 goals, and we'll have a substitution for Lewis Central, an IMT Insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Speaking of substitutions, getting back to your point about not having that ability to make timeouts, at least at this level, you're able to have unlimited substitutions. Oh, my goodness, at the highest levels where you only allowed a couple, then it really makes those not only strategic, but when do you want to slow the game down as well?
Yeah, but that's why they get paid the big bucks, too. You know? Some of the best, supposedly highly tuned athletes, which in most cases they are.
Well, when you can only sub about 3 of them, the rest of them are going the full 90 plus,
Yep. Here, looking to turn it, Forsyth.
Great give and go ball there.
Now back up. Corshing's in the middle. She gets it. Now tried to dish it off, has it taken away, but goes right back on defense. And she keeps it alive. Into the defender. DCG just all over the place right now. Back over was Knife. Into Corshing. Corshing gets free right footer. It's off the defender. And that'll be a corner for DCG, their first of the day. Corner kicks brought to you by Kruger Seeds. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more about it at krugerseed.com. Also getting some IMT Insurance substitutions here at the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Here's the corner. Kind of straight across and goes out. Got it into to the player, but couldn't really do anything with it.
Interesting to see that DCG using a right-footed kicker there. Typically, if you can, you'd like a corner kick to be in-swinging, not out-swinging. Another issue that causes is sometimes it'll actually curl over the back line, come back in, but an astute official will call that out.
This one is sent back out, headed up, goal! And that was Forsyth with the header.
That's how you draw it up. And I'll be honest with you, over years of seeing how many balls are crossed in. Somebody jumps up for a header, and it skips off their head and keeps traveling the way that it was already going, or they pop it straight up, or they overcorrect the angle. That one couldn't have been placed any better if it had fallen at her feet and she'd kicked it in.
Right up and down on it, and boom. And it's 4-0. Forsyth with her second. 2 for Corshing, and it's 4-0 DCG lead here in the first half. Lewis Central, they get it away. Bach does that time. Now Lewis Central trying to gather the offense. Lobs it up ahead. That was Estrada trying to turn it. They've kept Estrada pretty well in check, the defenders have, for DCG. Now back the other way. Again, lob shot this time is going to go wide.
Forsyth pulls out the 8-iron and just can't get it to curl back. But again, where DCG is winning this game is in a lot of these 50-50 challenges, it's just a fraction of a second earlier, or on a 50-50 ball, they're going in and winning that like 52-48, but that's enough to carry an election, and it's also enough to get those
and
balls going
when they get
away.
it, they don't hold it long. They send it ahead to the feet. For, some well-placed balls to the feet, too, up ahead for those DCG Phillies.
That last goal was actually set up beautifully by Corshing, doing what we call a wall pass. Treat yourself like a brick wall. As soon as it comes to you, you just feed it right back, and the person's already running.
That goes out to DCG. The Phillies have been running here today. And here's Fritz, booms it out of there. A little too much pressure at the half there.
I like allowing some contact, but I'm okay with that call. I mean, at some point you don't want to give the girls a free pass to let it get out of control, right?
Yeah. A lot of times what the players are trying to do is get that little below the back shove into that.
And again, heads up play there by the defense of the Titans. Elam sees that ball but knows that despite the fact she can get to it, Lucy has got a better ability to run onto it, just lets it go to her.
Outside to Gregory. Good pass up ahead. Gregory, what can she do with it? It's knocked away, and that'll go out for a corner for Lewis Central. Their first corner of the day. And brought to you by Kruger Seed. Next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, check out your local Kruger Seed dealer. Go to KrugerSeed.com. This one's swinging in, headed out by the defender, still in front of the goal, and the keeper comes down on it and closes off the attack there.
Wasn't the prettiest defense ever, but sometimes it's not about playing the ball. It's just making sure your opponent can't. At some point, your goalkeeper, who's the only person who can play it with her hands, is going to get to it and jump on it.
Just don't give any open lanes in front of the net. Now here's DCG coursing with it. Right foot, tries to shift it back to the left. Has help back there with Wiggins. Wiggins tried to sneak it through two defenders up ahead back to Corshing, but here comes Lewis Central back the other way as we approach 6 minutes to play in the first half. Lobbed up, headed back down. DCG, step over, now through. Up ahead. Little contact. Knife plays through it. And back the other way. And up ahead. One thing I've been real impressed with when they get to that final level, Eric, they're able to shoot that ball by the defender and then go after it here so far, DCG has.
And obviously with the score what it is, more positive things are going to be said right now about DCG, but I want to highlight one of the Lewis Central players that I think is having a whale of a game, Riley Reitz. I know that they've given up a few goals, but none of them really been on this side. And it seems like every time the DCG side tries to bring it up this left channel, she's either A, stopping it dead in its tracks, or B, backing up and allowing her teammates to come in and help out.
Yeah, everything is, you're right, kind of started on that left side. Under 5 minutes to play now. DCG throws it in. Now still working to get control. They sent it over to the middle. Tried to send it up ahead was Henricks, but taken by Dowdy. Dowdy dribbles through traffic. Looking for a lane up ahead. Goes up the left side, but can't quite get it to the teammate. And that'll go out back to Lewis Central.
Another player who's having a good game despite the score, Dowdy, and I didn't even realize until a few seconds ago, but she wears the same numeral as Drew Dowdy, the Los Angeles Kings, and she kind of plays that same sort of offensive defenseman role. She's a midfielder, but make sure that she plays the full length of the pitch.
Knocked down by DCG. They'll turn it. Now go up ahead. Streets up ahead in the middle there, I believe. And there's a push called. Foul on DCG. That'll be a free kick. And Dowdy there. Left foots it up the sideline, but trying to get to it. Good run onto the ball there. Now cuts it back inside. Good setup. Header knocked away. Great save off the header by Estrada. And Fritz had to make a dive and did it.
And Fritz punching that away and still was able to hit off the iron, but comes out and she's able to recover. Again, we talked about that great header down the other side, and both these teams going aerial on the attack.
I didn't see. Who gave the entry on that header? Did you see? I couldn't quite tell from over here.
No.
But Estrada was right there, and she made a great header on it. Just a great play by Fritz.
And we talk about these teams having to adapt to grass. That was a set up by a long pass that maybe on some surfaces would have kept
rolled
spinning
away, yeah.
and rolled long.
But it slowed and she got to it. Now down on the touchline, kept alive through the defender and off the side of the net.
Split the D beautifully there, and we've seen the officials been consistent. They're not going to allow anything egregious, but they'll allow a little bit of separation. And there, she was able to go right down the middle and then tried to cut an almost impossible angle shot, just a little bit too sharp of a shot.
Forgot to mention here, one thing I should mention, fans, the Central College has a tuition price less than $20,000. That means a college experience that opens doors for a lifetime, now more affordable than ever, and scholarships still available. Apply at central.edu. Make sure I get that in for our fine sponsor, Central College. Back the other way. Lewis Central now trying to get something here, frantic. Final minutes of the first half, trying to get at least one on the board. DCG plays it back up. And kept alive by Streets. Streets now turns, quickly throws it in. Good pass. Throw in down the sideline. And Sear went down but gets up quickly. Here's this sometimes a dangerous area last minute or so where you can't ease up on defense. Here's Lewis Central. Crossover, Bach sends it to the middle. Dowdy looking, lobs it up. Oh, was looking for Estrada there. Now Estrada gets it back, and good clear by the defender. As Estrada almost came turned on that. Throw in. Bach cleared out. Under a minute to play.
This is where you see what each team has got left in the tank going into halftime.
Battle for it. Smith for Lewis Central. She wins it. Turns out of there. Looking in. Estrada's up in the middle. They get it into her. Could she turn it? Gets off the defender. Almost snuck it by there. Now pushing. Bach over to Dowdy. And they're going to call a handball, but just outside the box. No PK, so they have to play it quickly. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. They fire it in, and there's the half. So what happened is that was outside the line, another foot over, Eric, and we got a penalty kick, and you could extend the half for a penalty kick.
Untimed down type of situation in soccer as opposed to football.
Well, the first half here, 2 goals by Corshing, 2 by Forsyth for Dallas Center Grimes. They're up 4-0 at the half. We'll take a break, come back, talk a little bit more about the first half. After this, you're watching the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything.
Dental insurance costs a fortune and it covers nothing.
Don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Des Moines. The yeses are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's top teams and student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's a chance for a small town kid to make it big. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more, to be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can be found only in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes, the coaches on a successful year. And remember, the task ahead of you is never greater than the strength.
Here at the Girls State Soccer Tournament, we're at halftime of this 2A quarterfinal. DCG is up over the number 7 seed, up over the number 2 seed, Lewis Central, 4-0. Dar Danielson here, along with Eric Zamora. Let's observations from the first half. You're kind of writing out some stats here, Eric. What did you have there? That first half.
I'll be honest, I was just marking for myself northeast, south, and west, so I can refer to that in the second half. But quite honestly, where this game really has gone DCG's way is for them about 3/4 of the way up the field. There have been a lot of times where right in front of us, there's been a 50-50 ball, and they've just found a way to make that short pass. And what I would say, if you're a Lewis Central fan and wondering what's the best way for us to come back and get a victory here, and the other way for DCG, the best way for them to hold on is keep possessions, individual possessions, not the team. Keep possessions short. You don't want to be holding on to the ball for too long, because if you can quickly just make an exit pass and hand that off to a teammate and allow them to do the legwork, it's been working out because DCG hasn't been just dribbling up and down, making a lot of moves. They've just been making quick, simple passes, and at times have caught Lewis Central following the ball instead of really staying zonally aware of where they should be. And you make a couple of quick passes, I can tell you, you get heads turning, and out here with as warm as it is, so sometimes it can kind of get a defense lost in the midst of it.
And one thing they have been, they've been finishing too. On 4 of those shots, they finished, and they've shown, they could go right foot or left foot with it and put it in the net.
Right foot, left foot, or head, as we've seen.
Or
and quite honestly, out of DCG's goals, I'd say they've really only had 4 great scoring opportunities, but they put 3 of those in the net, and then one of them wasn't even a great scoring opportunity. What it was they took advantage of, there were a cluster of bodies. The netminder wasn't expecting somebody to try to snipe a shot from outside the 18 through a ton of traffic, but that's exactly what it ended up being. It almost ended up being a screen that the goalkeeper then saw the ball late, and by that point it was too late for her to get to it.
Well, we're going to take another break, and I'm going to climb down onto the bleachers and get my score sheet that I dropped there. So we'll do that. Dave Mabel running the controls for us. You're watching the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Back after this.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face.
SWIC feels like a community, like family,
like home. SWIC is a place for you.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
It guides me home. I got it. You're my favorite.
Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's top teams and student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's a chance for a small town kid to make it big. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more, to be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can be found only in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes, the coaches on a successful year. And remember, the task ahead of you is never greater than the strength within you.
Here at the County Soccer Complex in Des Moines, the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Dart Danielson, Eric Zamora, Dave Mabel on the controls. He's sitting over there under a tent. Cool as a cucumber, Eric, but you and I, we're toughing it out here in the sun, making our own gravy. And but DCG scored 4 goals in that first half, 2 by Corshing and 2 by Forsyth. And we've already talked about that. But let's go into the huddle over there for Lewis Central. What do they got to do to get back into this?
Well, I think they've tried a combination of a little bit too much dribbling and a little bit too much of that long home run type of outlet pass. And when the game all boils down to it, I mean, nobody's questioning the Titans and their athleticism, their skill. But you don't need to display that at all times. A lot of times it's just simply about as soon as you make that pass, be moving to the next spot. And it might take a couple of passes for it to get down the line, but it's going to get back to you. Too many times at all levels, you see somebody make a great pass and almost kind of sit there and admire their work. You got to be moving those feet because they've got 40 minutes left in their season unless they get things in gear. And I'd say all it is about, let's not try to do anything really fancy. Nobody's trying to get on Sports Center today. You're just trying to string together some passes and generate some offense.
Well, fans, I want to let you know the official state tournament merchandise is now available. You can go to IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. So if you didn't get a chance to pick up a T-shirt or merchandise here, forgot about it, go online, you can order it. As we get ready for the second half, DCG, they're in the white uniforms, and Lewis Central in the blue. I don't know if there's enough, I'm not a scientist, enough degree difference between the blue and the white uniforms that you'd feel warmer, Eric? I don't know.
I don't know, but what I do find interesting is that it's the home team or the better seeded team that's the one who has to find out. And all these teams, it's the higher seed that's wearing the darker uniform.
Here's Dallas Center Grimes with it. Sear takes it one-on-one, trying to sneak it through two defenders there. Still trying to keep it alive, and it will stay with DCG.
Oh, and a nice southern breeze starting to develop there. Should point out the winner of this game will move on to tomorrow, 12:45, back here on Field 6. They'll take on the winner of the Norwalk North Scott game. That's the 3-6 seed matchup, and it looks like they're even at one apiece as the half is about to expire.
And as we move up the cross and gets in behind the almost into the goal, but it goes wide, and that was just one of those that kind of got in behind the defense, and a point blank shot just angled off.
A little bit of a miscommunication by the defense. That's one of those situations, as you were talking about, where you want to be able to pull the trigger with either foot. I think that's one that, thinking back to it,
back
she's
the other
like,
way, and finger goalie comes out and then wide the other way,
hooked it. And when you are looking at this from a Lewis Central squad standpoint, you've got to be thinking, okay, we just dodged two huge bullets in the first minute and a half of the second half. It's still 4-0. Now let's use that as momentum.
Hannah Lucy been getting a lot of action back there in goal early here in the second half already for Lewis Central. Now back the other way comes Dallas Center Grimes, and then we had a foul call on Lewis Central. The fouls look unofficially. I had about 5-3 Dallas Center in the first half. Got a lot of contact at times, but as we said, it didn't look like anything overly egregious. It was all in the regular play. Oh, good pass into the center there. And up ahead. Still going through the defense. Left-footed kick, can't get it across. No support there. Still going as Hayes came in, got by the defender, tried to sneak it through. Now Dallas Center Grimes trying to go back the other way with it. They turn it.
Great patience by Rosenbeck there. She stopped it, but then didn't immediately just flail at it and softly kick it away.
Here's Korshing on the attack. Oh, deflected away. Korshing almost had the hat trick. It'll be a corner as the keeper came out, Hannah Lucy, and just got the finger on that in the first corner here of the second half for DCG.
Dangerous rising shot, and Lucy able to get a couple of fingertips on it and sail it north of the crossbar.
Well, then here's this one kind of swinging out a little bit. That gives Lewis Central a chance. Haley Bach to turn it. They've got numbers. She's got Estrada up ahead. I was going to say DCG had numbers defensively.
That's the concern when you've got an outswinging corner kick, is that sometimes it can spring the other team up the pitch. But fortunately for DCG, Lewis Central just didn't have the numbers to really do anything there.
The Phillies had their three defenders back who didn't come across the half. So now here's Lewis Central trying to work something offensively here. Estrada chips it over and cleared back. And good stop on the ball and turn by Forsythe. Well, Forsythe goes up ahead, chipped up there, but it's going to be a little too much under that. He was trying to drop it up ahead of Forsythe, but the keeper, Hannah Lucy, gets to it. Thank you, Cloud. Those clouds feel good when they come in. And Lewis Central can't quite get a foot on it. And it'll be a throw for Dallas Center Grimes.
DCG's Ashley England, the senior right fullback, gets the restart.
Up to Estrada. Estrada pumps it through there, fighting for it. Oh, almost got a foot in. And the official says nothing there. Bach went down, but she went down because she was trying to stick the foot through, I think.
And again, I think that's one of those where had the opposing or the attacking player not had any hand contact, probably would have gotten the call. But because there was contact both ways, they'll let that go.
Now there's a foul on DCG. And I know as an official, those are always the ones in the box. You want to take a good long look to be sure you're not quick whistling, and giving it a PK or something. But here's a kick by Wren, or no, that's McKenzie, as they try to run it down, and that'll go out to Lewis Central. So now Lewis Central with a chance here. And it'll go out for a corner. DCG tried to put it in set up like it was a goal kick, but it's going to be a corner for Lewis Central. They're first of the second half. 6 minutes in. And here's a chance off a set piece to get on the board for Lewis Central. Swinging in and to the side of the net.
Taylor Gregory there, even though a right-footed shot, kind of had that inside-out hook, and it just tailed a little bit too much at the end. But had that stayed in play, that's a dangerous ball that could end up anywhere.
It could almost curve in and hit the pole and get a ricochet somehow there. Well, DCG will send it out. And there's foul on DCG.
Bartak tried to be a little bit sneaky there and tried to hide that contact behind the opponent, but a good job of the center official spotting that right away.
So here's the free kick. Comes right into the middle to the keeper. And there again, that's one of those where maybe if you could drop it in a little short and let it rattle around, maybe let somebody else get a head or a foot on it.
And great confidence there by Fritz. Didn't catch it exactly cleanly, but didn't bobble it either. She knew she had time and just waited until she found the right grip and held on for the save.
Now turned by DCG back the other way, Lewis Central. And there's a push against Garza. That'll be a foul. Or excuse me, Estrada. And Estrada comes up for the ricochet on that. Now she knocks it down, takes it through, trying to push it by the defender, gets it over, and she was looking for Gracie Hayes to come back over into the middle and strike that ball. But now Hayes will come over and throw it in. That's Lewis Central keeps it in their half. They're trying to throw it up. Now back. And hooking, goal! Beautiful strike by Hannah Estrada. Perfectly placed ball by Estrada.
You can't score 4 if you don't score the first one, and a beautifully struck ball. It almost seems like in the moment you think, well, did the goalkeeper make a mistake? But there was nothing that she could have done. Just placed perfectly at that top shelf where she can't get the elevation. And the issue was it wasn't a rising shot by that point. It was a falling shot.
Yeah, because you got to time that jump, and it was rising. I thought it might go high, but then you're right. It dropped out. The bottom dropped out of it. A little like that old curveball, and it dropped in there. But here comes Dallas Center Grimes. They're right back on the attack again. And they try to clear it out. Here's Sear. She sends it up. Oh, and that goes off of Dallas Center Grimes, so it'll come back the other way for Lewis Central.
I've been really impressed with what I have seen out of Olivia Sear, just a freshman, and the right halfback has really been, at times, stirring the drink, both offensively and solid defensively.
And Lewis Central fans don't like the foul called there against Estrada. Lee shot, she was hooked, but she kind of had the leg. That's the DCG player. And that one, nonetheless, those seem like the kind of kicks that drive a coach nuts, where you kick it out of bounds there. But here comes a IMT Insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free at imtins.com.
And perhaps more than anything for this Lewis Central squad, yes, the goal just brings them within 3, but it really seems to have woken up both the crowd and the players. They've responded really well since that Estrada strike.
And that'll go out to Lewis Central.
And that's
right.
An easy one for the official
energy,
to call, yeah. Bartok would have been okay there had her timing been better, but was a little bit late on that challenge.
Ball up, head, Estrada looking for it. It was a good ball in, but Lewis Central unable to convert it. They still haven't put the 1 up on the board there for Lewis Central on the far scoreboard. Now up into the middle. Battle for it there. Can they turn it? They do. Looking, feeding it in. Up ahead, and that'll go corner for Lewis Central.
And I talked about that at the half, that sometimes DCG in that first half was really striking the offense when they had that quick one-touch pass. It's exactly what we saw out of Estrada. No longer did she have it, then she gave it right back, and it was a great scoring opportunity for the Titans.
Here's the Kruger Seeds corner, spinning in. Battle around. Estrada trying to get to it. She'll dump it back outside. Now crossed. They're trying to get it over toward the middle. Lewis Central knock it down. She didn't have much of a play back, and then a foul called.
Now that ended up working out for Lewis Central, but that's exactly what I was talking about. Titans don't have that much time. This DCG squad is just too opportunistic. If you make any mistake anywhere on the field, they can put it in the back of your net.
This one coming down the middle. And now DCG back the other way. On the run. Knife gets it through. Fans want a foul. And that's cleared out. Throw in by DCG.
At first, I thought the official was signaling that there was a call against Lewis Central and that it was advantage, but clearly that wasn't the case because the Titans got to it first after that.
Here comes a substitution for DCG, an IMT Insurance substitution.
And we're about 8 minutes away from that
water break.
Yeah, break in the second half of action.
And Central would like nothing more than to try to get another one, have it before that. But just said their energy, but so far DCG has held off that energy pretty good since the goal. But here we go again. And there's a good defensive stop by Henricks. And this time it's called against DCG. I've got 6 fouls against them here in the second half. They've been more aggressive.
Carolyn White looked a little bit surprised by that call. I'll admit, I was as well. However, what I've loved about DCG is they've matched the intensity. As Lewis Central has dialed it up, so have the Mustangs.
They haven't backed off. Up ahead and trying to clear it out of there. They do, as Forsyth was zeroing in. And they got offside call. The flag is up over here.
And again, Williams playing that central fullback sweeper position and timed that perfectly. Looked like she was communicating with her keeper, seeing if she was going to come off the line. The netminder saying, nope, that's your ball. And at the last second was able to just poke that away from Forsyth and keep her from having an opportunity of getting a third in the game.
A little Central player limping off over there. With the long hair, I can't tell.
I believe that is 17 Callie Williams.
Is that Williams? Okay. One thing I'd like to see in these soccer uniforms, bigger numbers on the front of the jersey.
Well, at least in this one, we have dark numerals on light jerseys and vice versa.
Vice versa, yeah, so it's a little easier.
I'll be honest, we're calling Nevada tomorrow, and I'm glad that they're going to be the away team because I saw those purple jerseys on black, purple numerals on black jerseys and was like, oh, this is going to be a fun
one. Get that a little bit out of Waukee, too, with the dark numerals on the dark jerseys. And for us announcers, sometimes it's hard to see them. Especially when you're looking across the field there. But
we are certainly taking the side of the broadcaster, not the graphic design people.
Well, here's the throw in for the Phillies on the far side. They gave up a goal, but then held off that charge that resulted from it, as you said. And there's a foul there by Lewis Central. And this one's swinging in there, but cleared out. Estrada taps it back. Now Lewis Central looks to turn and run. Clearing it through. They get it up ahead. And they keep it going, though. The Phillies step in and send it back. And knocked down by Knife, and there's a foul called on Lewis Central.
You know, if the Titans can get one here in the next 5, you couldn't ask for anything more coming into this half. As you're down by 4, if you can get that deficit cut in half with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, then you got a little better chance. Here's a straight-on kick. Let's see what they do with it. This one is lob up in there and right to the keeper. Lucy.
And Lucy could have let that one go out of bounds, but she realizes the clock is their opponent right now as much as DCG is. She wants to get that ball back in play as soon as she can.
Now trying to work at pressure again by DCG. Up ahead. And they clear it up again. DCG not resting back and looking to burn the clock here at this point. Good ball up ahead. Trying to run onto it, and just a ricochet off there as Bach got a foot on it. But enough that it got to the keeper and it didn't get out for the corner either.
That was a great through ball by Natalie Smith. Saw a player streaking on the right side, struck it, and the timing couldn't have been more perfect, but credit that left fullback for coming back and making the defensive play.
Here's Lewis Central up again. Who tried to sneak it through. Defender steps in and knocks it away. Great job of the back line there. Now up ahead on the breakaway. Oh, pokes it out of there. Off the shot by Forsyth. Forsyth has been close to that hat trick a couple times here, but
for the Phillies, that was all started by the defender Alexa Henricks, and she's got to be dead sure of it if she jumps that play, but she did, and all of a sudden turned defense into offense.
Lob to Forsyth again, who comes in there, but the keeper comes up, and all of a sudden Lucy's been busy back there. Hannah Lucy, the senior keeper for Lewis Central. Here's Henricks again, as you talked about. A lob up in there, and that goes out.
That's a good break for Lewis Central.
Yeah.
Looked like on that offensive turn, they kind of turned the ball over, and fortunately for them, kicked out of bounds, and they'll get a restart here with a throw-in.
And we're going to have some substitutions, some INT insurance substitutions here. And we'll get close to the break for Water. Lopped it in there, caught between two Phillies, and then a push called. Yeah, it was Estrada kind of got caught there. It wasn't.
No, what that basically was is the official saying, hey, DCG has got the right to that space, and you kind of occupied it without really making a play at the ball.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the other side, if the score holds up right now, Norwalk on top of North Scott 2-1. Again, the winner of that game taking on the winner of our game here on Field 6.
And they're got 33 minutes left to go there in the second half, so not quite as far along. They started a little later, I think, as they stagger in the games a little bit. And there's now a foul the other way. So I got fouls at 7-6 Lewis Central right now. It's been, well, Lewis Central really is picked up the pace after that goal. They haven't been able to get another goal yet, but they're still working at it. And as you said, though, Dallas Center Grimes has picked up the pace too. There's a shot that'll go up. And again,
early on, it seemed like the two teams were definitely playing hard, but it was a little friendlier. Right now, I don't think anybody's going to be exchanging phone numbers afterwards and wishing each other well.
Now, Ollie, realizing this could be the last half of your season. And up ahead goes White. White gets tripped, fouled, and that's going to be a card there. That will go against Leah Taylor. So, official pulls out the yellow. You have to leave for 5 minutes when you get a yellow in high school, so Taylor will be out for a bit. And looks like Henricks will set up for the free kick.
I'll be honest, I like that rule, even though it's not anything close to what I grew up with. You used to get a yellow and have to stay out there, but it allows the player an opportunity to catch themselves and go, hey, let's not go do something else stupid right away.
He's off so you don't get that second yellow right away and get out. Yeah. Especially a lot of those come out of just frustration and you don't want it to build. And
never done the studies, but I have to imagine that a lot more cards are taken by a team that's down 3 goals than up 3 goals.
There's a foul then on DCG.
Great jockeying by both players. Really a long battle there, and eventually one side gets a little bit too aggressive, but good to see that after that card is administered, things kind of calm down for the moment.
Up ahead looking for Estrada, kind of drops in there. Estrada on the run, tried to get to it. Now knocked down by Jensen. Jensen, one Estrada. She's trying to get up there. And that one will go out. And we're under the 20-minute time, so I think they're going to take a break here. They'll take their hydration break, but Lewis Central will have the throw in when we come back. So 4-1, DCG over Lewis Central here with 19:39 to play. We'll take a break, get some hydration, and come back after this at the Girls State Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Nothing feels quite as free as being out here.
Except this free soda.
Where'd you get free soda?
At Casey's, you can win all kinds of free stuff.
I love free.
Then you'll love this. Bought this jerky, won this free donut.
I love donuts.
And these chips can win me the big one.
What?
A free concert from country music superstar Lee Brice.
I love free Lee Brice.
With Casey's Summer of Freedom sweepstakes, the more you buy, the more you can win, including a free Lee Brice concert for your town.
Free Lee!
No.
Des Moines, the S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops, and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
We're in the second half. 4-1 DCG over Lewis Central at the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by MidAmerican Energy. Dar Danielson, Eric Zamora trying to find some shade anywhere we can here this afternoon. And they've been taking the hydration breaks because that heat index is up there around 91 today. I don't really, living in Iowa, I like the warm better than the cold because I think you can always, me anyway, you can look for shade or drink water in the heat, but once you get cold, it seems like you never
See, and I'm the other way, but yeah. I will admit, consider myself a Minnesotan first and an Iowan second, and I think of it the other way, so I can always put on extra layers.
Yes.
But cold, warm, again, the biggest thing in 2021 is how many years were we coming out to events like this, the volleyball state tournament, the basketball state tournament, and we took it for granted when it finally went away, and now we're sitting here going, hey, you can put me in any sort of weather conditions, which, by the way, I can tell you this, heavy rain or just a thin layer of snow, those are always my favorite conditions to play soccer.
Well, I don't,
You got a real good slide on those grass fields.
So Lewis Central will start out with the throw-in here in their own half, looking to cut into that lead. DCG opened up a 4-0 halftime lead. 31:51 to go. Lewis Central scored on the Estrada goal. And now trying to chip into it, knowing this could be the last 20 minutes of their season. And back up to the keeper again. You know,
Good to see Callie Williams back out there for Lewis Central. And I don't know if this is going out on a limb, but I'll say this. I don't think the score ends up 4-1. I think either Lewis Central gets back into it or they have to roll the dice and gamble and allows DCG to get back on the board.
And what often happens, here we come on a breakaway a little bit. And let's see. Lewis Central could expend a lot trying to get back, and then you see Dallas Center Grimes getting a late goal because of that.
At some point,
that often happens in soccer.
At some point, this Titans squad has got to decide strategically to throw the kitchen sink at them.
Yeah. Here's a IMT insurance substitution as DCG will bring in 3 new players here into the mix. And one of those is Corin Wiggins. I'll try to run down the other for you. That's also Knief coming back in for the Phillies. As DCG now back at it. Up ahead, drop back. This one is a little too high. Good idea. They went out, in, back out. And just a little too much on it.
You could see almost right as the pass was being made that is such a tough ball to control. A lot of times you're going to get that backspin and just send it sky high.
That was Knife trying to get over it. There she is poking the ball back. Up ahead again. And the longer DCG holds it in their half and keeps moving it around, the better for them, because the clock's on their side right now with that 3-goal lead. McKenzie throws it in off of DCG. It'll stay with Lewis Central. They're looking for the lane on the throw-in. Trying to get it down in there. Hayes collision, and that'll stay with Lewis Central. Hope Jensen will throw it in. Looking for Estrada. Can't quite get it over the defense, but they send it out.
Jensen's made a couple of throw-ins here, and quite honestly, where she's had difficulty is a lot of her teammates have been stationary. You got to give her a moving target so they can hit her in stride.
And you like the DCG defenders. So wait, let's go throw in right into Estrada, and I think she got pushed, so there's a foul right there. So Lewis Central will get a free kick right outside the box to the left. And now the official will make sure that wall moves back 10 yards off the ball.
Looks like they're going to go with a 3-player wall here and just a smidge outside the 18. But from this angle, they can really create some difficult plays depending on where she can swing this.
Swinging, well, it goes right across. Oh, she had right there Hope Jensen. It just could not quite get up on it. I think that was Hope Jensen, but not a bad play in.
No, the one thing I would have liked to see there instead of a dead straight ball is maybe if you could have curled it a little bit.
So that it is moving toward the goal.
Yeah, that's the difficulty of those is even if you get a piece of it, you're likely just going to keep it on the trajectory it's already going.
Yeah, because if it moves in, then maybe it drops in there and they got a chance at a second rebound shot. Here comes DCG again. Send it up.
That's a turnover created because of the hustle of Jensen, quickly coming in and forcing Wiggins to get rid of that ball.
Here's Jensen bringing it up the sideline. Up ahead looking for Estrada, knocked down by Henricks. Again, back there defensively. It's hard to get that ball by her. Into the middle, Forsyth. Forsyth works it to the right foot, now tries to cross over, tangle up, and it'll be a foul called. And Grace Hayes is pleading her case there and says, hey. But now DCG brings Henricks up.
The two got tangled up there like they were playing Twister, but because the defensive player looked like she was the first one to go down, it looked like she dragged the offensive player with her, whether it was the case or not.
Now they bring in Knife to play it, and she lobs it a little too high over the top. It looks like we had another goal scored on the other field over there. Coming up on 14 minutes to play, Lewis Central still looking for a way to get on the board. And just, as we talked about it, one goal gives you a little momentum, and you never know. But DCG is not bent under the pressure or the heat yet here today.
Great step up by Dowdy.
I'll send it outside. Trying to get to that outside lane, but they'll just clear it. And the defenders have been real good, DCG. They're like, let's live to fight another day. Let's just kick it out. Let's not try to go this one-on-one stuff. Draw a foul, give a free kick in there for the most part, you know.
Well, and they know the situation.
Say that, but yeah.
But they know the situation. They know that there are little things like that they can get called for because, quite honestly, a 3-goal lead with 13 minutes is a heck of a different situation than if you were dead even right now.
Yeah. But here now you give them a set kick here. As you see, Maya Fritz, the keeper back there, waiting. This one right through goal! On the rocket from Dowdy. Hannah Dowdy, the junior, gets her 20th goal this season. And it's 4-2. We'll cut the lead in half.
'68th minute goal by Dowdy, and that's one of those where you've got to just credit it all to the striker, because it's not like there was any element of surprise there. Netminder knew where the ball was, knew who the opponent was. She was just able to pinpoint that corner.
DCG back up again, but now here's Lewis Central. Get it. Now on her horse, Estrada trying to get down there. Henriks will kick it away.
And that's the smart play there.
Yeah.
You hate to give up a free throw, but it's a lot better than getting beat there.
Lob over header! Goal! Goal! We got a one-goal game. That was Haley Bach. Momentum is switched. Lewis Central within one now. And the delivery by Hope Jensen over to Bach as we get an IMT insurance substitution. And we have a one-goal lead with 12:24 to play in this quarterfinal. The winner advances to the semis. Up ahead, Jensen. Knocked down. Kept alive, Dowdy. Up ahead to Hayes. Hayes ricochets off. That'll be a corner, I believe. No, a goal kick? Oh, yeah, it went off the defender.
Hope nobody at home had to run to the restroom because they missed a couple of quick goals, but this is what we talked about with Lewis Central. 4-0 at the half, and nobody on the Titans said, well, it was a good season, let's pack it up. They were here to win. They weren't here to have a good showing.
Now they pushed up, keep the pressure on. Here's DCG sending it up the other way. And kept alive is Forsyth. Now back over. Into the middle. Right to the keeper. Good offensive passing, but...
And here's a chance for Lewis Central with so many DCG players up. They wanted to quickly get the ball going.
Foul called, the undercut on Lewis Central. So DCG came back on the counter. Now they draw the foul here and we'll get the free kick. Down the middle looking up there for Forsyth. And they'll clear it out. Back outside. Oh, nice ball in, but nobody in there for DCG. Knocked down by Korshing. Korshing tried to go with the right foot. It's blocked off the defender. Now they're going to clear it out.
And again, good pressure by DCG. Dowdy's got plenty of time to turn that and move it upfield if it weren't for the fact that she could feel the footsteps coming.
Down to the corner for Knife. She sends it over and it's out. Oh, man, that ball.
That wasn't a bad look from there.
A little more into that left post, and she had somebody right there to finish it off, but instead it goes out for the goal kick.
Either that or if she'd caught one of those southerly winds that we've seen, maybe it would have floated right way
down
into the back door.
Yeah, held it down in. But now Lewis Central trying to turn it. They trailed 4-0 at the half, have scored 3 goals here in the second half. And now lob it up the right side. Estrada looking for it. Estrada takes it, gives it back inside, and it's cleared out by the defenders. Under 10 minutes to play. DCG trying to hold off the rally by Lewis Central. They'll get a throw on the far side. Into the feet, now over. Dowdy tries to turn it. That wasn't a bad attempt there to redirect that, but just couldn't quite get enough on it.
She could have either hit it a little bit harder to make it a tougher shot or a little bit softer so that someone could have ran onto it.
Dowdy heads it back up. And referee says play on Estrada. Trying to get by the defender. Goes back out to Jensen. Jensen lobs it high and it's going to go out for a goal kick.
I think it was a good no call by the officials. I know that the player got bumped into, but she'd already passed the ball along. There was no real advantage at that point.
No.
At some point, you've got to just say, hey, if bodies accidentally collide,
yeah, when
what
you're
are you
moving
gonna
together,
do?
that's soccer. You know.
It may not be a collision sport, but it is indeed a contact
sport at times, yes. And not all contact is a foul. Into the middle there for Hayes. And that one will go out. Under 8 minutes to play. Lewis Central down 4-0 at the half. Scored 3 goals here in the second to make it a 1-goal game. Winner advances to the 2A semis tomorrow, right back here. And just kept alive by Knife, but then she sends it out. But it went off the Lewis Central player, so
Dowdy with the deflection off her kneecap there.
Henricks will throw it in. Gets it up there to Forsyth. Knife sends it outside. Trying to run it down out there. Turn it back in. And that'll stay with Dallas Center Grimes. Here's an IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Sponsoring all substitutions today at the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. And trying to set it up, knocked away. Now Lewis Central trying to counter. Good cut back to the middle. Still going. That's Bach. Bach sends it up ahead. Estrada trying to run onto it. The keeper comes out. Man, that was a good delivery by Bach. DCG up ahead to White. And that'll go out, stay with DCG. 6 minutes to play. 1-goal game in the quarterfinal. Alexa Henricks comes up. Good block defensively by Lewis Central, but then countered. And who's got the juice left here to finish this is the question. Oh, trying to get it over in the middle to Korshing. Lob up ahead. Almost a high kick there, but not. And this one comes out. Estrada will throw it in. Look for her to probably get it back. We'll see. And DCG, good job of clearing that. 3 defenders back. Oh, they almost headed it back into the path. They're a Forsyth. Now up. Central trying to get possession. Well, DCG keeping it on. Up ahead, keeper comes up. Anna Lucy, good deep kick. Estrada trying to get it away.
That's a really confident play. You've got to be sure that Estrada's not going to pick your pocket there.
She got it out. Now knocked down. Up ahead, Hope Jensen. Jensen gets it off of DCG for the throw. Oh, gets by the defender, but she recovers well there. Hendricks, she's just solid all over. Estrada can't get to it. 3:40 to play. Lewis Central needs a goal to keep the season alive. Dowdy. Up ahead, knocked down. White tries to send it through, but it stopped. Now White gets it back and does get it through to Forsythe. Forsythe sends it outside to Corshey. Forsythe goes up ahead. There's no battle. Official says no, nothing there. Back to DCG, coming up on 3 minutes to play.
You can see players on both sides with their hands on their hips. Just the
tired.
Conditions, everything, but they're going to give it everything they got for the next 3 minutes.
Season will end for one of them, continue for the other. That will stay with DCG.
Heads up play there as she deflected it off of the opponent.
Yep.
And good eyes by the officials to get that call right.
Hendricks throws it over to the middle. And that one goes out to DCG. Well, Lewis Central needs possession to turn and burn here. Now it's time running down. DCG taking their time. And Lewis Central turning it. Up the sideline. Going deep. And DCG will clear it. Under 2 minutes to play. In to and there's a handball setting up Lewis Central. Stand by, we'll have our player of the game here coming up. It's going to be a tough one. So this will be Dowdy, the junior, with the kick. You see the four-person wall there. Over. Oh, just over the top of the crossbar. That would have tied it. Nice strike, just a little high.
And it's going to be a full court press here as everybody in blue is going to try to mark up someone and get the ball back in there less than a minute to go.
And up ahead, coming up with it, still some life. Jensen trying to keep it alive, take it away. 30 seconds. Up through, but handled by DCG. Now goes out, 20 seconds. Callie Williams throws it in, headed through, there's a foul. And that'll be a card. I think that might go against Forsythe. Yellow card, and it stops the clock with 10.6 to play. Kind of deep, but Eric, if you can boom it into the middle.
And I think they are, in addition to making the substitution, I thought maybe looks like they might be even adding a second or two back onto the clock. We'll see. But if there's somebody that you want taking this, that's what they're trying to do. They tried to add 14 and a half.
Yeah.
They turned it into 14.50. But here, expect Dowdy. She's not trying to score here. She's just trying to lob one in and see what can happen.
So they're trying to put 14 and a half seconds back on the clock. Lewis Central telling all their team members, everybody's got to get, it doesn't matter, you want everybody in the box, don't you?
Meanwhile, we've seen 14.50 put up, a minute 45, but eventually they'll get it to, they want 14 and a half seconds.
There we go.
And they've got it.
Here we go, 14.5 to the semifinals. Lewis Central with the free kick.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised even the goalie's not down there.
There we go, clock rolling. High kick into the box. Dallas Center Grimes kicks it wide. Battle for it. It'll go back to DCG, and that's going to do it. They are going to advance. Dallas Center Grimes holds off the late charge by Lewis Central. And we'll have co-players of the game. I say Ella Forsyth and Avery Corshing, the two who scored, each scored 2 goals for DCG. We'll take a break. Oh, wait, no, let's keep it here because we have the trophy presentation. Let's do that. We'll keep it right here. Wow, what a battle, Eric.
And that's why you play to the full final whistle. And what we really saw out of DCG, I thought, was great composure. It's easy to win a game if you get up by 3 or 4 goals and you just kind of put it on cruise. But at the end, we saw those girls laying their bodies out and making some great plays.
And you said they're going to bring everything but the kitchen sink, and I think they brought that to Lewis Central, and just not enough. It comes down to one final kick there, and wow. And
credit Lewis Central. They could have, again, just said, well, I guess it's not our day. We'll pack it up and head home. But they gave it everything they had, including Dowdy, with about a minute, nearly had the equalizer.
Go to the PA.
Every player will receive a commemorative soccer ball and bake cakes provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards today, representing the Girls Athletic Union, is soccer administrator Lisa Brinkmeyer. Congratulations to head coach Chris Von Mendy and the Titans from Lewis Central on an outstanding 2021 soccer season.
So the final here, DCG Corshing scored.
Mustang fans,
2
you
goals,
advance to the Class
41,
2A
41,
semifinals tomorrow at 12:45.
Forsyth follow that up with 2
Norwalker,
more.
North Scott right here on field
And it was
6.
4-0
Congratulations.
DCG at the half, then Lewis Central. 31-51, Estrada got the goal, then Dowdy, then Bach, and that made it 4-3. And as you saw, Lewis Central had a late run there to try to stay in this and extend it, but they are not able to do that. And DCG advances to the semifinals tomorrow here at 12:45 on Field 6. That's going to wrap it up here from the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.